Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Kangen World. My name is Anthony Tan, and today we have an incredible training program for all of you. So please strap yourself in, have your notepads ready, and if I can invite you to please remove any distractions so that you are fully present for this training program. The topic for this training program is called The Truth About Enagic Kangen Water, and how this training program can help you fast track your success in Enagic. Whether that be hitting a particular rank or achieving a level of income every single month. To do that, I first like to offer you some clarity, because I believe that clarity leads to power. So how many of you here would like to gain more clarity in Enagic, in Kangen? So how many of you would like faster success in Enagic, whether that be unlocking a specific bonus, hitting a certain rank? So the following training program is an extract of our one-day Kangen Masters training we run for some of our team leaders and new business partners that come to join us. Along the Kangen journey, a lot of you will undoubtedly come across a lot of challenges, objections, and questions as to why there are so many Kangen comparisons or competitions out there on the marketplace. So, for the duration of this training, if I could please invite you to keep your mind open and maybe even to unlearn some of the things you have learned so far. And please let me share with you some of the truth. Because as one of my great mentors, Mark Twain, once put it ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. So before I identify why Enagic is often compared, let us first identify the 4 categories of competition. So the first being this is what we refer to as non-machine related. This could be something that most people have at home. This is what most people start off with. This could be in the form of a Brita filter jug, a water filter, or a chemical solution job, whereby you need to replace them and it's gone through some chemical change because it has some mineral ions inside. And just to clarify, that is spelled Durex with an I on the top left-hand corner. So these are water pills that you put in to change the alkalinity of your drinking water. So when you tell people that you are involved with this water filter, this is the most likely thing that most people associate themselves with immediately. The second are these water filtration systems. And they could be some of these large water container tanks you see in some corporate offices. Or it could be some of these pre-filters or reverse osmosis systems people use to treat their drinking water. So most likely you'll get a response to say, I don't need your system, I'm already looking after my water. So some of these pre-filters could be your friend, because it's quite possible where you live at the moment you might need to treat your water before it gets into the Kangen machine. And number 3 are these alkaline water filters. This isn't where we sit, by the way. And this is a combination of number 1 and number 2 that you have seen so far. So they treat the water, in other words filter it, and also change the chemical structure of the water into becoming more alkaline by using a chemical change. Other than that, there are no other changes to the structure of your water. In other words, there are no antioxidants or microclustering. And the 4th and final category where Enagic sits are these water ionizers. And are there not a lot of water ionizers on the marketplace? Is it confusing? If it's confusing for you, imagine how confusing it is to the client or your friends that you're trying to explain this to. And part of the reason why we run these training programs is because we get a lot of questions from a lot of our team members and messages asking me, hey Anthony, could you have a look at this ionizer or this brand? Because they say they are cheaper than you, but they're better. They do exactly the same thing as Enagic. So then sometimes we look further into the technologies. We might invest one of these back. We might open them up. We might do some tests and some trials. So then we'll respond back by saying, oh, no, this is very different because of so and so and so. And then the next week, we get another message, another phone call from another guy saying, hey, Anthony, look, guess what? I found another one, and this is even better. This has got so and so and so, and I think this time they might be right. They are cheaper than Enagic. They may be better than Enagic. What do we do? What do we say? So there are a lot of books, you see, that are written about Kangen. But what I'd like to share with you are these top 15 reasons why Enagic is often compared, and why Enagic has no competition on the marketplace, so that you and your teams can strengthen your belief, your energy, and have a tight bubble of total focus around Kangen. So let's begin. Number one reason is this: ISO 13485. So what does ISO stand for? The International Standards Organization. And the next 5 digits is going to be your secret weapon. This 5 digits stands for a medical grade certification. So all the other X brands on the marketplace will certainly have an ISO 14001 and 9001 for environmental and quality control. That is the minimum requirement. But what makes Enagic stands out is that we have this very unique industry standard medical certification. Now be careful, because other brands will play this down to say it is unnecessary and it is irrelevant and it doesn't mean anything. So what you should all be proud of is that you are representing the very, very best. This is the pioneer of water ionizers on the marketplace. This is the certification over here. I do highly recommend that you all go onto Enagic.com's website to check it out, to download it, or even download it onto your phone, have it laminated into your folder even. So as you can see, the first reason is already so powerful, I don't really think we need to go on. Should we just end the training session over here? Number 2 reason is this: Gold Seal Award from WQA. Now the WQA stands for Water Quality Association. Now to become a WQA member, it's very similar to you joining a gym or a golf club. Now by the way, the WQA is another highly prestigious international trade association, and they represent the residential, the commercial, and industrial water treatment industry. So any companies who wish to be part of this industry needs to be at least a member of this organization. And so on the bottom left, that is what the seal looks like. That is what all the X brands will tell you. Hey, we're just like everybody else. We are a member of the WQA. So with Enagic being the pioneers, we want to make sure that we do things at the very, very best. So Enagic are the only people that have been awarded the gold seal. So not the bronze, not the silver, but the gold seal of award from the WQA. So as you can see, the seal looks pretty much the same as the membership seal. So those of you who has a Kangen machine will recognize and see this seal on the front or the back of your Kangen machine. So now I hope you'll be able to help your friends and family identify the key difference between one that is a member and one that has a gold seal. Number 3 is this: Oni ionizer endorsed by 6,500 Japanese Doctors Association. So this is a certificate of the association here. Enagic is endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Diseases. Before this Japanese association chooses a company like Enagic to endorse, they first need to run a comprehensive assessment and review of all the other ionizers on the marketplace. Criteria may include the highest level of corporate social responsibility, medical grade production facility, or a system that performs consistently over a long period of time. And this is why so many people have received incredible benefits drinking Kangen after all this time. Number 4 is largest surface area of place. When people ask, why does it matter, Anthony? Why is this so important? Now, let's have a look at these plates that are used for the ionization inside the machines. The one on the left is Kangen, and the one on the right are the X brands. Which one is bigger? Enagic or X brand? And why is this so important? Let me show you why. Imagine these two rectangles represent airplane runways. And imagine the runway on the left is about 1 kilometer long, and the smaller runway on the right is about 0.5 kilometers long. And at the end of this runway, there is a huge cliff. So the question is, which runway would you prefer to take off from? The larger one on the left or the smaller one on the right? Well, obviously the one on the left, because a longer runway allows the plane to generate full power before it takes off. And so the same reason with Kangen. The larger the plates, the more chance the water gets ionized before it comes out to you. So here are more pictures of a side profile of an X brand on the left and the Kangen on the right. And so this is what some of the X brands would do by spending time to design a beautiful casing on the outside, and what they avoid showing you is the heart of the engine. Now, has any of you visited the Enagic offices? Again, if you have not, I highly recommend you do so, because every office you walk into, Enagic proudly displays the heart of their engine, the key components that are used to manufacture Kangen. In fact, many of the top leaders still invite their friends or their family or their prospects up to an Enagic office to provide an even more powerful customer experience, or to convert a potential prospect into a business partner. Number 5 is medical grade solid plates, 99% purity. Now, everything that we're showing you all goes back to the fundamental. Number 1, which was ISO, medical grade 13485. So everything must exceed medical grade standards. Everything from the sourcing of the raw materials, the hose pipes that you see, the electricals, and the titanium plates used in the manufacturing and assembly. People often ask, Anthony, why use titanium? Why is it so important? Now, does any of you have friends or family that has had some kind of metals put inside them when they've had some sort of operation? If so, what metal do they put inside? That's right, it's titanium, which is grade 1 titanium, and this is what we use in our Kangen. And part of the reason why we use titanium is because titanium is a very, very good conductor of electricity. So that when water gets zapped with electricity, the titanium is there to help the water react appropriately. And in addition, each of the plates are dipped in platinum. Now, why do we coat it with platinum? And the simple reason is this, is because platinum is chemically inert. So each of the titanium plate is coated with a layer of platinum. You see, titanium reacts with other substances. With platinum being chemically inert, it doesn't react with other substances. So when water comes into your machine, and if your titanium plate is not protected by pure 99% medical grade platinum, what's going to happen to your machine? That's right, it's not going to last very long. And do we know the price of platinum on the marketplace today? That's right, it's about the same price as gold, or around $30,000 per kilo. Now, number 6, track record of 42 years. Now, from a product perspective, would you like to buy a product from a company that was established a few days ago, a few years ago, or one that was established 42 years ago? But we are not just referring to any ordinary household appliance. What we're talking about here is something that we're going to put inside our and our family's bodies. And similarly, from a business perspective, Now, how many of you or you know friends or family that have been involved in a business opportunity, have invested in a business system and soon realized that they were only recently established and soon that business collapsed? And that's why a long track record is so instantly powerful, because we have stood the test of times. Number 7, direct from a Japanese manufacturer. Now, don't you find it common practice to find a lot of companies have their products manufactured overseas, let's just say in Asia? So within their manufacturing and supply chain, you will find that they have lots of various parts sent from various suppliers to one assembler. And by the way, any of us can walk into an assembly factory to have our own ionizer, to have our own water ionizer produced. Whichever brand name you choose, you wishes, they will put that brand name on that machine for you. And that's why one facility can churn out so many various types and brands of water ionizers. But you find that the leaders in any industry are always very, very different. I don't know why I'm whispering, but Enagic operates very, very differently, because they are so monomaniacally focused on delivering the best user experience. Because Enagic have decided to manufacture all of their parts, all of their machines from one source, under one roof, so it allows for greater quality control. Because Enagic chose to manufacture all of their parts and components and machines under one roof in Osaka, allowing for unparalleled quality control. And as a testament, each and every member is welcome to go and visit the production facility in Osaka. And you will get a full, complete, transparent tour of the production facility. Moving on to number 8, does not overheat within an hour of non-stop ionization. Now, let me give you an example of how this works. Imagine you've just bought a new car. Let's just say you've just bought a new Mercedes, and you are driving down the motorway. And all of a sudden you hear the engine go, Eeeem. It goes all quiet and dies down completely, and you're stuck on the motorway. And so when you ring up your sales guy, they say, yes, that's actually a unique feature we put into your car to stop it from overheating. Yeah, you need to pull over every half an hour to stop your car from overheating. And unfortunately, this is also something quite common in the industry. The X brands will call this unique feature a temperature shutdown, where they employ a thermal switch in the water cell to shut down the ionization process if the temperature in the cell gets too hot. So when other companies take shortcuts in their materials or in their construction, what tends to happen to the plates is that they are prone to melting. Now, how many of you have stood next to a Kangen machine with a tap on and given out hundreds and hundreds of liters of Kangen water for up to an hour non-stop? Or you have been to an Enagic office and seen people queuing up with their empty bottles collecting Kangen water from a machine that constantly gives out Kangen non-stop for up to an hour. You see, Enagic never shuts their machine down. Enagic never turns people away if they need Kangen. You see, these workhorses of a machine are constantly on all of the time. And so, what happens when the X brand's temperature shutdown system stops working? This is what's happening inside that you don't get to see. And these burn marks are a result of cutting corners in their raw materials and their manufacturing. So imagine you have friends or family that are drinking water coming out of these systems. Metal poisoning, because it leaches back into the water. Number 9, biggest and fastest water flow rate. The interesting thing is, whenever I take guests up to the Enagic office or they come to see my machine, many of them are actually quite surprised by the flow rate. In other words, how fast the flow rate is coming out of our Kangen machines. Because they mentioned to me that the X brands that they currently use, the flow rate is extremely slow and that they have to stand there for a long time to be able to collect just 1 liter of water. And the great thing with Kangen is that you'll be able to fill up at least 5 liters of Kangen water in around a minute's time. And the reason I say this is because during some of my previous presentations, I've been asked this question or shown this slide from somebody who's done some research and looked at other brands on the marketplace. And they say this X brand has this unique feature called the auto flow control valve. And allow me to read this. It says a flow control valve that allows you to fine-tune the performance and gives you true functional control of the water pressure through your ionizer. And so this is another one of their clever marketing gimmicks, because if you look on the top two hoses, these are the Enagic hoses, and the two at the bottom are the X brands. And the reason they do this is so that they can restrict the physical amount of water that passes through the machine, because this all goes back to the fundamental I showed you earlier, where if the runway is too short, too narrow, too small, the plate won't have enough time to generate enough power for it to take off. And likewise, your water will not get ionized properly. Moving on to number 10, only ionizer producing up to 11.5 and 2.5. So then some of my friends would say, oh, hang on a minute, Anthony, I've seen X brand producing 12.5 or 1.5. Now, if you remember, what is the name of the water given to the pH of 11.5? It's the strong Kangen. And what is the name of the pH given to the 2.5? It's the strong acidic water. And what is required to make this 11.5 and the 2.5? It's the enhancer solution, correct? Now, these are some of the things that other X brands will say about our enhancer solution, our Kangen water, our acidic water. And all this information is all online, and everybody have access to this if they type in Kangen. Can we admit that there are some bad and negative reviews about Kangen out there on the internet? And is it also true that any of us can write some negative news and reviews about other companies and not have it taken down? Or are there internet police out there to say, hey, that's not true, take that down, that's not true, take that down? Are there also lots of negative reviews about some of the biggest companies like Apple's on the internet? So what most people will find is that there is a lot of competition, a lot of reviews and comparisons against Enagic. Why? Because we are the pioneers, we are the leaders. They're all just like a share of the marketplace. So here's some of the things that you or your prospects might see. Danger, the Enagic trap. So your friend has brought you into a trap. So allow me to please read what they say. Do not buy an Enagic ionizer. They are dangerously obsolete. The SD501 can produce toxic gases and in worst case may explode. And the toxic chemicals are used to make the strong Kangen water. Toxic chemicals. So basically what they're saying is that Enagic have secretly implanted nuclear weapons and bombs into each and every one of your homes for the last 43 years. So here are some of the things that I've been made aware of. So these X brands have sent a lab. They've sent our solution, our enhancer solution, for a lab test to see what are the ingredients inside. And they say that Kangen uses something called sodium chloride. Yes, they say that sodium chloride is extremely hazardous and viewers should investigate this dangerous chemical substance. And those people without the slightest chemical knowledge background will probably find that word sodium chloride quite daunting. So what is sodium chloride? That's right, it's just table salt. Isn't table salt literally in everything that we eat, right? So the second ingredient in your enhancer solution that you may want to be aware of is something called sodium hypochlorite. So again, X brand have sent one of our substance to another lab test to make people aware of this hazardous, dangerous chemical solution that is present in our enhancer solution. So what is sodium hypochlorite? That's right, it is simply known as chlorine or bleach. That's right, a little drop of chlorine or bleach is used inside your enhancer solution. Initially, when I heard about this, I was actually quite daunted. But if we're looking further into this to see where else chlorine and bleach is used, well, it is used in our drinking water for over 100 years. It's used in the production of our food. It's used in many hospitals to disinfect many different types of surfaces. In fact, there is less sodium hypochlorite in our liter of solution than you will find in your tap water. Now, do people drink the strong acidic water? No, they don't. We just simply use it as a disinfectant, right? And after generating the 2.5 and 11.5, and you want to go back on any of the drinking water, when you press that button, what do you see or what do you hear from the machine? That's right, the machine will kick into an automatic cleaning process for about 20-30 seconds. So how much sodium hypochlorite are there in one bottle of solution? It's around 0.004%, which is far, far less than you will find in your drinking water or in any food production that you buy. Now, reason number 11 is this on why we are often compared, because Enagic is one of the only ionizers that has a built-in e-cleaning system. Now, remember why Enagic machines work so well and they last such a long time is because we have this patented system which allows you to clean and service your machines yourself on a regular basis. Because other machines that doesn't have this system in place, their machine will soon break down. Because remember what we said, if they're using titanium or platinum in these machines, water always reacts with titanium. They'll always find a way to attach themselves with it, particularly if they're living in a hard water area with lots of life scale. And here are some examples showing you what would happen to other X brands after a very short period of time because they do not have this built-in cleaning system. And often I've heard from people who were interested in investing in an ionizer, they often tell me, hey Anthony, these systems I've heard do not last very long, because this is exactly what I mean. They are confusing or mistaking our brands for other brands, other X brands on the marketplace. So whether you live in a hard water or not, so remember to always read the instruction, Enagic's instructions, and follow the DVD, follow their very important instruction to make sure you clean your machine every single month, at least 3 to 4 weeks every single month, no matter which machine you have. Remember, if minerals are attached to these titanium plates, the ionization stops working. So here is an example of an X brand. Now remember, with the Kangen water, when you put the pH drop in, what color does it turn? Purple, correct? And what color was the acidic water when you put the pH drop in the acidic water? It will turn orange. And what about the tap water? It would turn either bluish or greenish, correct? So with this X brand you're seeing over here, now when you look at the color of these 3 cups, you will see that they're almost identical, which means that their ionization has completely stopped working. And I see pictures like this very often where somebody was interested to buy and invest in a Kangen, but after doing their so-called 10-minute research, they invested in a slightly cheaper brand. So this one would have been roughly about £500-600 cheaper than Enagic. And after about 6 months, they rang me up and they said, look, Anthony, can I please bring my machine over to have you test it, because I find that the water tastes a bit funny and I noticed the pH color doesn't turn purple any longer. So when we tested the water, we've opened it inside and we noticed this is exactly what you see. Because a lot of these machines just simply does not have a built-in cleaning system. And when they've tried to ring their dealer to get a refund or have it serviced, often they get rejected and turned down because one of the clauses in their small print says that if you run hard water through the machine, your warranty is void. So this is what happens to other X brands that we see very often. Or if they run too much water through in a single day, their warranty is void. And then they come back to us after spend another £3,000-4,000 to invest in another Kangen. So the motto here is this: if people buy cheap, they tend to buy twice. Number 12 is this: our Kangen machines are not affected by hard water. So what is hard water? Hard water is simply water that contains a lot of minerals. And water that doesn't have a lot of minerals are called soft water. If you'd like to understand more in detail about what is hard water and soft water, please do make sure you check out one of my other videos that are posted in the Power of One group. And the reason we're not affected by hard water is because we have this e-cleaning built-in system. this patented system in our machines. Now, with X brands that doesn't have this e-cleaning system, and if they have a lot of hard water running into their plates, these tiny little plates, what tends to happen over time is that they clog up. And when they clog up, they start to break down. Number 13, up to 230 watts. Now, we might be in the same category of water ionizers as other X brands on the marketplace. But as we've seen so far up to now, do they all do the same jobs? Do they all create the same results? So when other brands say that they use less power, they are cheaper to run, it is partly because that they want to compensate this by their titanium plates, because of their raw materials that they've chosen to use. If there's too much power going through, it will destroy their plates, it will destroy their other components inside their machine. So by looking at this chart over here, now the machine costs X amount, correct? It costs X amount to produce, and then we sell it at a certain price for Enagic to make a profit. So there is a cost, there is a price involved. Now, when people buy the Kangen, do people buy it because it costs so much to make, or do they buy it because it sells for X amount? Well, no, because most people buy Kangen because of the value it gives back to them, because of the value it generates. Number 14 is this, long machine lifespan of 15 to 25 years. Now, I often use this when somebody tells me that one of the X brands that they found provides and gives them a lifetime warranty. Now, here I would often return by saying, how old is the company? How many years has Enagic been around? Over 43 years, correct? So when a company has only been around for 2 years, can they say that they have a machine with a lifespan of 15 years? If a company has only been around for 5 years, can they say they have a machine lifespan of 15 years? And we can say this because Enagic is proven. It's proven and tested. Mr. Oshiro, the CEO, have always said, one machine is all you need, one machine for life. And finally, number 15, 5 years warranty, parts and labor. So anything that goes wrong with your machine, you simply put it back in the box, send it back to Enagic, or contact the person who sold it with you, or call Enagic, and they would happily have a look at it. They will even replace any spare parts or send you a new one if they cannot repair it. So this is Enagic's guarantee and warranty for you. And at the end of that 5 years, should you wish to, you can even extend that warranty for another 5 years for a small fee. So ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to the end of the top 15 reasons why Enagic is often compared, why there is no competition with Enagic. What I like to do now is to throw in one extra reason, one extra point, and that is that Enagic is the only ionizer in the world that is endorsed by the American Anti-Cancer Institute. Now, if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out their book, have a look at their website, watch their YouTube videos, why Enagic is constantly ranked as number 1 out of their top 10 protocols. So here again is a summary of the top 15 reasons why Enagic is often compared. So I hope you found this training valuable. So the learning lesson and conclusion for this training is this. The competition isn't so scary after all. It is the lack of knowledge about the competition that is the biggest competition problem. Take the time to run through your own training, run through your own research, draw your own conclusions, build up your own belief, and act like you've invested over £300,000 on this machine as opposed to £3,000. You see, if you wish to increase your sales, build up your team, it is to help solve other people's problems. Remember, people always buy based on emotions and logic. So always be prepared. So take the time to educate and empower yourself, and if you found value in this training, please do share it with your team members. That's all we simply ask. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Anthony Tan, and I hope to see you all very shortly. Take care. Goodbye.